favourite thing about 4 o'clock live is that every service we learn something new about the topic that we're doing.
After COVID, on the Sunday morning service, we were having very few children and young people come along, but we had quite a lot going on midweek. In order to adapt, to try to bridge something of that gap, we did a few different things. One that was that we decided actually we needed to prioritise it as a must. That provision needed to be there, no matter how few people we had. And sometimes that meant people who were leading the service or preaching, like myself, going through to do the children's groups rather than being up the front leading a service. But we actually reduced the number of ministries that we were doing for children and young people and their families. We came up with a new sort of suite of ministries, I suppose, that was more sustainable, more streamlined, but also I think right at the heart of those things was going to be Jesus, going to be an emphasis upon growing in faith and thinking through what that means. We wanted to resource our ministry to children and young people with things like Acorns, with our 4 o'clock live service, with our youth.com. We have our Acorns group, which is our group on Thursday mornings for 0 to 5-year-olds, our preschoolers, to play, to sing songs, to enjoy food together, to have friendship together. But then right at the heart, at the very start and at the end of that session, we spend time here in church, worshipping God together. So for a time we were moving sort of 20, 30 odd heavy hardwood pews out of the way multiple times a week to just, for our Acorns group, for example, to just completely clear the decks so that as part of that toddler group, we could actually welcome people into the worship space.
I think a toddler group, a church toddler group, is extremely important within the community. I think that for some of our parents, it may be the only time in the week that they have that connection with church. I remember a time when we had looked at Daniel and the Lion's Den, and then we went on a family trip to the zoo, and my son said when we were at the lion enclosure, "Oh, Mummy, it's just like Daniel and the Lion's Den." And I thought he's remembered that from being at Acorns.
We chose to start a Sunday afternoon service, our 4 o'clock live service. That's really an informal, interactive, 45-minute service aimed at all ages, particularly tailored for those people who perhaps aren't from a church background. And as part of Acorns, there's a regular invitation to come and join us at 4 o'clock live, that hopefully by the time people are then finishing Acorns, they're integrated as a part of 4 o'clock live and growing as part of the church family and learning to worship together as a family and as a church family.
My favourite thing of 4 o'clock live is the crafts that we do, and it's really fun.
I like it when we've got a craft because then you can take it home and it will remind you about the service.
I've got 4 children and I couldn't think of anything worse than to sit 4 children down and to be quiet and still and listen. I come in on 4 o'clock live, it's fantastic, it's very informal, it's very family orientated.
We're aware that when young people go to high school, we wanted to also create a separate space for our youth in youth.com to work through with some of our team and explore those issues of faith at that age and that stage.
My favourite thing about youth.com is we have fun every night and we play games.
And my favourite thing is that you learn a lot about God and you do scripture. You also get to hang out and chat with friends as well, so it's a perfect mix of fun and scripture.
And none of the ministry that we do to children and young people could happen without the wonderful volunteers and servant-hearted people that we have within the church at St. John's.